Alright, time for some fun, shall we? So, this is your typical Senya Choux Lua comp, but would you believe me if I were to tell you right off the jump that the effectiveness whore is actually not Lua? What if I were to tell you that it's actually the Senya? That Senya is easily rocking over 100 effectiveness, possibly more, because she does hit my Pyllis. So, I was not expecting that, but honestly, it really doesn't hurt me so much, because Lua's the real threat whenever it comes to effectiveness shenanigans. So, yeah, if it's Senya, that's really not that bad with the team that I'm currently using, especially if the Lua's not getting lucky enough to really get off her stuff. So, we're still in the middle of preseason, and preseason is still giving some, like, occasionally sketch guilds, and I think I'm possibly gear gapping a little bit because the Senya Choux Lu stuff actually kind of felt a little not too threatening, even though like crazy stuff happened, like right there, Arunka getting double crit by a blue, but like that didn't really hurt that bad. I think like any other top tier guild might have actually killed her, but I mean I could be completely wrong on that. But yeah, this is still probably my least favorite comp to fight, but this is also probably my most consistent team that I have against it. And once again, if you want to take the chance, because like the biggest threat is the fact that Lua is usually so fast, if you have a Zahhak built for this, you can really end the Senya and the Choux extremely effectively, but you still have to deal with the Lua S3, so you could get unlucky on that front. But yeah, I genuinely really don't like this comp. But I do like using Shadow Knight, and I do love using Roana. I like to pair those two together with a lot of stuff that I fight, mainly just because I genuinely really like going into counterattacking units. It just feels good to me. I don't really know how else to explain it. And yeah, right there, she didn't even crit me. So like, I have no clue what that Choux's stats are. In fact, I haven't even really been paying attention to what her HP is. But yeah. So we're 76 turns and until 100, and yeah, this team's actually already done. And you'll see in the next fight, whenever we use Arunka, we're gonna like let's compare damage real quick. So yeah, that did like 13k with Ubris's Tooth. We have another instance where we fight another team that's kind of like this, but against a barrier, and it adds like 5k damage or something like that. I don't know, I still think that's a little low, and that should be like a means for how they should buff Arunka. Now, for this team, you have no idea how good this actually feels to go into a Summertime Iseria Ran team with Celine. Oh, it feels so good to finally go into that team like this. Just because I have hated that team so much. Just so much dumb stuff has happened with that. And I am... Yeah, like, the Summertime Iseria is dead. It's already over. And what's funny is I didn't even need to bring Sylvan Sage here, because the one who takes all the aggro here is going to be Arowell. So I could have brought any other DPS I wished. I didn't need to bring Sylvan. But hey, Sylvan works out because, hey, you get crit damage buffs, so I mean, hey, that's something at least. Next turn around? Yeah. And we're done with this fight. Yeah. So if you have a means of getting a Celine, or you have a Celine and you haven't built her yet to fight like Ran teams or Ran Summertime teams, do it. It feels amazing, especially if you've ever had a lot of problems with those teams in the past. It's good. So, for the next team here. Now, I have to actually give credit for this team real quick. I did not initially come up with this idea. I usually scan through my my guildies people who like do these matches before I do, because I usually do this stuff super late, because I'm usually always busy with work. And another guild mate of mine named Astral did this, and this was the exact team that he used for it. And looking at it, it's a damn near perfect team to counter it. So let's just say your Inferno Khawazu's not strong enough. You still have your AOL like primed and ready to go ahead and do a strip and possibly a silence on that Senya. So, and because Zahhak's there, and because the AOL already went, yeah, you're safe there. So, like, yeah, you see just how well this is, like, perfectly countering it. And, of course, because Zahhak being the amazing Giga Chad that he is, hey, I can attack buff. And if you need it, yeah, you'll use that to just straight up one-tap the Adin. This whole team got completely countered by the selection. And so, yeah, you may not care, Astral, but, like, hey, man, thanks for the idea. I know you didn't care or see, but I saw it. I thought it was good. Good stuff. So here is another, like, kind of OG team that I used for a long time, but the big reason why I didn't use it as frequently in the past was because, good lord, we fought Apocalypse Ravi all the time. And Apocalypse Ravi kind of really messes up my Lionheart Cermia when I get the chance, when I really want to use her, just because of how Apocalypse Ravi ramps up, and she'll usually injure and then eventually kill Lionheart. But with this kind of setup, you'll really start to see the power of Lionheart. If you have the means of using a Lionheart and you can kind of go uncontested, you will absolutely decimate teams. So, like, hey, case in point, hey, we can go ahead and use S3 again. Or at least for the first time. And that's going to be a theme throughout the entire fight. And also, straight up props to this dude for actually using Mort. I still firmly believe to this day, Mort is quite possibly the most wasted character in all of Epic 7. By any means, please feel free to correct me if you can think of somebody who actually was more wasted than him. Episode 3, he was probably the absolute most wasted and overhyped villain that we ever had, I think we'll ever have. Like, yeah, Season 2, we had Straze. He straight up had, like, lore of, like, destroying planets and shit. Season 1, Archdemon. That caused the whole time loop shenanigans. Season 3, oh, Mort. What's his backstory? I'm fucking lazy. like, yeah, seriously, that's his whole shtick. I want to fight someone strong, but I will make no effort whatsoever to try and get to any of the top tier places where people are, like, doing battle and shit. Now, there may be lore for that, and I may have missed that particular lore where he just never made any effort to try and get to, say, Britannia or whatever, you know, where all the top tier people live. But nah, just no effort whatsoever. I'm just gonna go to sleep in, like, this rift or whatever. And you know what ultimately does him in, which is, like, the stupidest shit ever. He essentially was hit by in universe or in lore injury set. He didn't realize he had injury on him, and that's why he lost. The stupidest, most wasted villain that we've ever had. And it's a shame too, because his voice acting is also stellar. Great performance. So right here, let's look at this damage. It feels really good when you see this opportunity.
I'll remove any trace of you.
So yeah, 19k. It's really nice to see those numbers, but it's also really distressing that you kind of can't rely on that for things like shoes or anything, because you would think, like, with a shoe with a barrier, you would absolutely murder it. And a lot of the times, you'll do a lot of damage, but you might end up doing more damage just with her S1, S2, or with her S1 follow-up. Which is, like, one of the things I do genuinely don't like about Arunka. I kind of wish that she had a better soul burn. I think her current soul burn is really a waste of souls. I think it's stupid. Because, like, why is Alencia really good? She has a guaranteed follow-up attack. How do you counter that? You hit her with unbuffable, so she can't do the follow-up attack. Meanwhile, with Arunka, LOL, flip a coin. And, hey, we lost that coin flip. Like, you see what I mean? It's just stupid. It's really, really stupid. If anything, I would prefer a soul burn on the S3, which was, like, just does more damage. Or even increases buffs by one turn. I don't care. It'd be something. I would appreciate it a lot more than the S1. And then you could just change the S1 to, like, either always do the follow-up, or if you have a buff, does the follow-up. I don't know, something like that. It would just make it more impressive and more fun to use. Because, like, at this point, if anybody wants to complain and bitch and moan and whatever about the balance of the game, guys, we've crossed that bridge and we've burned it. We've nuked it. way back in the day. When Conqueror Lilias came out, we burned that bridge. She has been in every single team that we've ever, like, fought ever. She's one of the most broken fucking units in the entire game, and just nobody cares. And almost everybody has her. If you don't have her, you're new. If you don't have her, you're unlucky. Or whatever. Or just, it's always something, it's something stupid for, like, why you don't have her at this point. Because it's been a long time, and she's been meta forever. Only recently, she's actually starting to get some counters, and the counters aren't even, like, really super counters against her. It's against the actual mechanics of non-attack skill. The reason why she's so stupid is just she, like, does other stuff other than non-attack skill. And, okay, so right here, this is also, like, a prime example of probably one of the best cleave comps that you could ever have in the game. If you see a means and a reason to use Straze, Commander Pavel, and Operator Sigret in that order, well, not in that order, but, you know, in the order that you see in this fight, not much can survive it. And even still, I could make my gear even better. Like, my Conqueror, or my Commander Pavel isn't even, like, super strong. And my OP Sig is like rocking Bloodstone, something I'm just too lazy to remove. But yeah, if you have a reason or an excuse to use that particular cleave comp, not much survives it. Very few does. I really don't like to use it unless I'm going into, like, ludicrous tank things or anything like that. It just feels unfun to me. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Guild War, and yeah, it really wasn't much to talk about, but I am greatly appreciative of everybody who enjoyed the last video that I made on the ML Furious video. I really hope that a lot of you new people who happen to see my content, you continue to stay. I hope you enjoy it. Please, if there's anything that I say that you like, please feel free to leave a comment. I do read all of the comments, and I try my best to respond to them. I just trying to have some kind of fun in this game for whatever's left of it, because, like, I don't know, I feel like that 10-year plan's probably going to be ending a little sooner than the 10 years. But hey, man, I'm here for the whole ride, and we'll see we'll see what we get. Hopefully they'll release some information, because it's the beginning of the new year. Hopefully we'll get some info as to, like, new QOL or any other kind of stuff, just to make the game more fun. Me personally, I want, like, more gear sets to, like, make gearing easier. But, like, oh hey, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks so much. Later.